December brings little joys like flowers and fruit. It also brings blistering hot weather. During the hot summer months, my sanctuary is my desk where I create. And it is here where you'll find me now, working on the next character for my magic Christmas tree. Meet Nutcracker Bear. Shortly I will make the bear using common household and craft materials, and I invite you to join me. I've added to the description box below a materials list. Please know that these are just suggestions. And just as a final note before we begin Wonder Weavers, if you too decide to make a Nutcracker Bear, I would love to see him. You can share your creations with me by sending me an email or by tagging me in your photo or video. Let us begin Wonder Weavers, and as we usually do, we'll start by making the armature of the figure. If you've watched a couple of my tutorials, you'll notice that I quite often use chenille sticks to make the armature, and I usually begin by bending a chenille stick into a C shape, and then I add shorter lengths of a chenille stick for the limbs. We're going to add one more length of a chenille stick. And as you can see, I'm attaching this to the top of the head. This piece will help to provide stability and strength to the bear's helmet, which we will make later. Next, we're going to start making the core of the figure by wrapping lengths of cotton around the middle section of the figure. To give the core strength, wrap cotton thread around the cotton. As you can see, the core of the bear's body is very thin. To help fill out the bear, I'm going to add some layers of cotton and secure them or glue them down with a PVA glue and water wash. You could leave this step until later, but I like to begin from the very beginning, sculpting and defining features. Next, we'll work on the bear's head. And the first thing I'm doing is trimming the end of the chenille stick. If you're using beading wire, you won't have to do this. Then follow the same key steps. Wrap cotton around the hook, secure it with thread, then apply small amounts of cotton and apply the PVA glue and water wash. And at this early stage, I'm going to add plastic eye beads for the eyes and also a smaller one for the nose. When gluing the eye beads, I use a strong adhesive. Continue adding more layers of cotton to fill out your bear. Here I've added another length of cotton around the midsection of the figure. While the cotton is wet, you can sculpt it. Here I'm using an embossing tool to define the bear's nose. As you might have noticed, Wonder Weavers, I'm moving between the head and the body of the bear, adding layers where needed. I often move between the head and body of my figures, assessing whether or not I'm happy with the overall shape and proportions of the figure. Once you're happy with the overall shape of your bear, work on the limbs. Here I'm wrapping a thin and long piece of cotton around the chenille stick, holding the cotton as firmly as possible, and then I apply the PVA glue and water wash. I also add wisps of cotton where I can still see the stick. Before I add cotton to the legs, I add strips of Alfoil to the bear's feet. These strips will help me create little boots, which I'm going to make from polymer clay. You could also make them from cotton. At the moment I'm doing lots of experimenting to see what kinds of textures and effects I can create combining different materials. I encourage you to play and experiment as well, to find out what you like. With Alfoil, I also create a conical shape for the bear's helmet. I condition a handful of clay, tear a small amount from the ball, roll it out, and then cover the alfoil with the clay. For the helmet's brim, I sculpt a little arc and place it just above the bear's eyes. I can join the pieces together and then spend some time smoothing and shaping the clay. For a little bit of decoration, I add a little ball of clay to the very top of the helmet. Next, I work on the bear's shoes. I roll 2 small balls of clay and then mold them into rounded triangular shapes. These are the soles of the shoes. To create the upper part of the shoes, take 2 more pieces of clay, flatten them, and then cover the top of the alfoil with them, and then spend some time conjoining and shaping the shoes. Once you're happy with the shoes, wrap additional layers of cotton around the upper part of the legs or the bear's thighs. Our bear is almost ready to be baked. We just need to add one final thing, the ears. To make an ear, take a small amount of cotton, moisten it with the PVA glue and water wash, sculpt the cotton into a rounded shape, and then attach it to the side of the bear's head. Do a final check, looking over your bear to make sure that you're happy. And then bake your bear in the oven. You will need to bake the bear at a very low temperature. I baked mine at 100 degrees Celsius. Now that the bear's been baked and the clay is cool and the cotton is dry, I paint the helmet and the boots with black acrylic paint. And then I dress the bear. Once the jacket is made, I make the final decorative pieces from a Christmas mince tart tray. I cut out a buckle, decorative shoulder pieces or epaulettes, and jacket fasteners. So there you go, Wonder Weavers. We have created a miniature Nutcracker Bear. There are now 2 residents of my magic Christmas tree. I wonder who else will live there. Thank you so much for watching, Wonder Weavers. I truly love sharing with you, and I honestly appreciate your support. Now, I would really love to hear from you and find out what you're creating at the moment. Please share with me in the comments below. And don't forget that you can connect with me on other platforms such as Substack. All of my details are in the description box below. Until the next time, Wonder Weavers, take care stay well, and don't forget to play. Adios. Ciao.